has the power.
Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and I got the actual Origins He-Man. Now I've already have the core and the Chronicles, so we'll compare all three of these and the differences in them. And it's actually kind of funny, when I first saw him in the store, I actually thought it was the core figure again. And when people talk about the Origins figure, they're talking about the core figure. Like I never heard the actual Origins one. So this will be cool to see. So let's go ahead and turn the camera around and let's check out this action figure. There he is. There is the new Origins action figure. And again, I was really thinking that core was the Origin alternative, but they actually have an Origins version. So let's get them open and check this thing out. So here's the packaging. Kind of cool packaging they have for them. It doesn't say anywhere on here that it's Origins, so it's kind of strange. I imagine it's going to make it a little hard for parents that are trying to buy this figure for kids, because they all look the same. If you don't know what ones are Origins, which ones are the kids' core collection, or which one is the Chronicles, it's going to be very difficult, especially later on, secondary market, buying them loose on eBay, trying to figure out the difference. But we'll break it down today, the differences, so you can figure out what's what in the world, and maybe later on bookmark this video and you can actually use it to buy figures in the future to determine which is core, which is Origins, and which is Chronicles. All right, let's go ahead and turn this around again. It's just so weird, it doesn't say anywhere on there Origins. It just says Masters of the Universe He-Man, most powerful man in the universe, ages 6+, and that's about it. There's no comic in the back, but it does have instructions, so that is different than the other two right there. All right, so let's get this open. Let's get it open now. Opening. There we go. And there he is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the directions and see what we got going on here. So it looks like his head, his arms, his waist, and his boots are interchangeable and removable. So let's pull his sword out. Let's bust him out of here. Oh yeah, he's already way different than the other two. Oop. So first off, so I have pulled apart, this loincloth comes off. And now he has the same underpants as we've seen with I think the 2000X He-Man, was it? We'll take a look and see in a minute. There we go. So let's go and talk about articulation. So we have ankle articulation, we have boot cut, we have single jointed knees, we have hip movement, waist, we have shoulder, elbow movement, wrist up and down, so you can actually hold his sword aloft. Hooray! We didn't see that in the other two. And then his head moves as well. There we go. So basic standard Origin articulation, which I am so glad, because I was so disappointed with the core figure, thinking this was the Origin alternative for us. So that's cool. He comes with the sword, and just the sword, and he has a sheath that's similar to his other ones, but it's actually the same color as his armor, where in both the core and the Chronicles, it was silver on the back. So these ones are more movie-ish. This one's more toy-ish. So that's the huge difference, is this is more like a toy, and the other two are more like the movie, if you will, for the way the apps are on it. All right, let's turn this around. So let's go ahead and see how this He-Man Origins one compares to other Origins He-Mans in the line. So here is the first release He-Man. Of course, he does have the newer head, so maybe second release. And he is about the same height as the first He-Man, which surprises me. I thought he'd be closer to Filmation. Let's go ahead and throw the Filmation one in there and take a look. Filmation is a little taller than him, the cartoon collection. So he is shorter than the cartoon collection. And let's look at 2000X, and he's definitely shorter than 2000X. So there you go. So that is this figure here. And so you can see he is very comparable to, to our original Origins figures we got a long time ago at the beginning of the Origins line. So he's not the cartoon collection. He's not the 2000X collection. He is the basic Origins, not extra tall. And you can see that in his leg muscles. It's very Origins-like. And his arms are not the cartoon collection-like. It is basically back to Origins. All right, let's go and see what we can and can't do with this figure, because I want to know. I want to know! So, first off, one thing you can tell is you look at these boots, they are completely different than the boots on the other figures. You can see these boots here are taller, and this one does not rotate on the core figure. And this boot is also taller, but it does rotate, and it has a lot more paint apps added to this foot as well. This one right here is the high quality one, and you can almost put them in their ranges here. This one here is like $11 for the core. This one here is like $21 for the Origins. And this one here is actually in the $30 range for the Chronicles. So you got the 10s, the 20s, the 30s. So basically $10 more for each one as you go up the line. Now, it is interesting. You can see even in the sculpt on his face, it is very, very toy-like in the paint apps that they used, even opposed to the core. The core actually has better paint apps on the face to give it that more realistic look. And so I'm almost not liking this. It looks so bland, even next to the more inexpensive figure. But then again, this is a toy aesthetic, so that's why they went with that aesthetic like that. That makes a lot of sense. But still, it's just kind of weird that they didn't go the extra, just a little bit on the face paint apps. Now, of course, when it comes to the Chronicles, it has the most ultimate paint apps on the face. As you can see, the likeness of the star who actually is in the movie. And even the armor's got the crystalline look to it and everything else. All right. So there we go. I want to see, are these cuffs removable on his hands? Let's pull off his hands. There we go. And nope, they are not removable. You're not getting those off without a lot of hot water and some effort. Maximum effort. You know what? You're not getting them off at all, I don't think. I think they are just painted on. They are. If you look inside here, you can see that hole right there where it is definitely painted brown on skin tone. So those are not removable at all. Now, I'm actually surprised at myself. I actually kind of like this figure. I wish the armor had a little more to it. But you know what? I am going to try the 2000X armor on him just to see, because everyone keeps asking me to do the 2000X. But if you do too many changes, basically, you should just do a head swap at this point and just throw the head on this figure, because he's actually built probably more like the actor, because 2000X is not quite as muscular. So let's just do that for kicks and see what the heck that looks like. Give me your head, Nick. Okay, that's not too bad. It looks like he has almost no neck, but let me pull the armor down a little bit. But still, that's not too bad. Not too shabby. I kind of like that. All right, let's have some fun by doing some armor swaps. Now, his body is more bulky on this. So, on this one here. So, I don't know how it's going to fit. Yeah, there's quite a bit difference in bulkiness. So, I get this armor off again. I had a pain last time trying to get it off. Lift up your arm. Oh, let's see if he can grab his sword. Hold on. Let me stick his head back on for a minute. I forgot to do the sword test. He has a hard time reaching his sword. Which is funny because we had no problems before with the other ones. So he can... Let me put the sword in his hand first. So he has the wrist articulation, so you think he'll be able to do it. Fit. Fit. Yeah, that ain't working. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. What is going on with his hand? Did I mash his fingers all down? Probably have to get some hot water to fix that. So I mashed his fingers down into his hand accidentally, so I can't put his sword in there until I fix that. Alright. How does this armor remove? I can see a spot right there. Oh, that is tough. Well, his armor, since it's so bulky, is a little harder to get off and on. It only has one removal spot on one side, so you have to do it this way. Up and over the neck peg. Raise your arm higher, man. It's like trying to get your kids in a t-shirt that's too small. He's got to pull his arm off. Give me their arm. There we go. And we'll throw this 2000X armor on, see if it fits over his bulky body. It does not. You cannot get it to fit very well over that. See, it takes quite a bit of stretching because it's a bigger body than this one here. Oh well, it's worth a try. Bummer. But you could put regular He-Man's armor on him because that is the same size body. And let's test it out and see. Yes, it easily fits. So if you wanted to, you can retrofit him with the original He-Man armor that we got with so he's just a standard Origins figure, so everything will fit on him that fits on a normal standard Origins. Actually, I'd pull these off too and just leave the... That's funny. You can do so much customizing so quick with him. Let's see if I can get this on correctly. I have to admit, though, I think out of all of them, I think I do like the Origins the best. I just wish the paint apps were a little better on the head. But you know what? Let's try to steal the Chronicles head and see if it can't go on this Origins body and how much different the sizing is. So that might just solve our problem right there. There's your problem. Fit. Those are hard to snap off and on now. Nick, your head's rolling around. Alright, let's do the size comparison. The Chronicles head is a little smaller, but I don't think it's small enough to make that big of a difference. Let's see how it looks around when I put it on. The ball joint's a different size, but you know what? It's going to look really weird. His neck's going to look extra big, so that will not work. See, it'll probably be really loose on this one. Yeah, it is. Bobblehead He-Man. It's probably they don't make all the pins the same size, so you can do more swapping. Ugh. All right, so let's go ahead and put the Origins version onto the Chronicles Cat. Wow. So here is the Chronicles Battle Cat. I already got rid of the other core Battle Cat. I just sold it on eBay today and mailed it off a few minutes ago. So it is already gone with the Schwinn. And let's see how he fits on this monster cool cat. Dun dun dun. What? He fits better on the cat than the Chronicles figure does. You know, I gotta put his little loincloth back on just to see full. Okay. Oh yeah. Look at that. Not too shabby. Oop. There goes the helmet. And the hard part's getting his hand right there on that little thingamabob. There we go. Just turn his body so his hand can grab that better. I had it, and then I let it go. There we go. Let's see if you can ride the bucking bronco now. Oh, I thought for sure his hand would hang on. Oh well. But it's crazy that he does stay on there better than our Chronicles one stays on there. So, if you're going to buy the new movie He-Mans, I would buy the Origins He-Man figure and the Chronicles Cat with the moving eyes. Dun, 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 dun. That feature is so cool. So that is what I would do if I was going to only buy one set. Is Origins, Chronicles. Forget the $11 one, which isn't too bad. Forget the $30 one, which is painted very nicely. And I would just go with the Origins and the Chronicles Cat. I wonder if we're going to get an Origins Battle Cat for this set. Alright, I think I have exhausted all the possible options. He does look kind of cool. My wife already bought the tickets. I'm excited. And I have not seen any of the trailers yet or previews, so it'll be a whole surprise. But that is looking mighty fierce, mighty cool. Great articulation on the cat, obviously. It's the Chronicles one. But if I was to pick out the way to build this, it would be, like I said, the Origins, He-Man, Chronicles Cat. Forget the core. Forget the Chronicles for the He-Man figure. And he does fit better on the cat than the one it was made for. How crazy is that? Anyway, thanks for joining me. Like I say, in the 1987 movie, good journey, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it.